Yo, what's up, movie people? Today, I'm going to be reviewing the new Naked Gun movie. The question is, was it any good? Let's talk about that.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin, Police Squad. The new version.
Alright, I just got back from watching the new reboot slash sequel of The Naked Gun, and I gotta say, Liam Neeson was the right man to take on the role of Frank Drebin Jr. because he had me cracking up in the theater like no other. I mean, this movie was hilarious to no end. I was super worried about Liam Neeson, taking on this role, taking on a pure comedy, because I don't think I've ever seen him in a, 100% comedy movie. I mean, he's had some cameos in some other movies. I think it was Ted 2, he had a really funny cameo in, so he does a couple of small comedy parts, but I've never seen him be the lead of a comedy, so I was a little bit nervous. I was like, a big action guy doing a comedy movie isn't gonna work, but man, I was wrong. I was proven wrong because he is just so freaking funny in this movie. He nails the deadpan comedy. I think that this is easily one of the funniest films of the past 5 years, maybe 10 years. People have been saying this is like the funniest movie of the last decade. I don't know if that's true because I can never remember all the comedy movies that I've seen in the last decade, but it truly is, such a funny movie. I mean, if you don't laugh at least a little in this movie, do you have a sense of humor? I don't think so. I mean, comedy has been on the way out for a while. I think that, writers have just been a little cheap with their comedy. Comedies used to be so funny with the jokes just being utterly ridiculous and sometimes a little bad for this day and age. But I don't see a problem with that because it's just a joke, as we all say. It's just made for laughs. And I think that this movie does such a wonderful job making the jokes make you laugh. And it's only PG-13, which is surprising to me. I went in, I was like, PG-13, are the jokes going to be that funny? But they truly were. It just shows that you do not need an R rating to make these jokes hilarious. I had such a wonderful time with this movie. My theater was having a great time also. You got to give this one a chance, man. I think the critics are loving it. All the audiences are definitely going to love it too. I also just watched the original Naked Gun movies for the first time last month. I watched them, I think, all in one day, three in a row. They're also not that long, so I don't have a big attachment to them. But I think that Leslie Nielsen nailed that role, and he basically was the master of deadpan comedy between those three movies and Airplane, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time. If you've never seen Airplane, you gotta go watch that movie. It is literally hilarious, from the start to the end of that movie. The three Naked Gun movies, I think are pretty good. I like the first one the best. I think they get, worse, from the first, second, and third, because there's only so many jokes that you can do. But I think that Leslie Nielsen just does such a terrific job with that role. I mean, he had me cracking up so much. I don't know how he got through those takes without laughing himself, because deadpan comedy, man, you cannot laugh. You got to just stay focused. You got to say the dumbest thing and not track a smile. I would not be able to do that. I say some stupid things and I just crack a smile, man. I can't help it. But those were some great movies. So going into this one, I was nervous and skeptical about them trying to make another new Naked Gun movie because as I said, comedy movies these days, they haven't been that great. I really like Friendship this year. Joyride from a couple years back was pretty good. But usually with comedies these days, they put all the jokes in the trailers, all the good jokes in the trailers. And I was worried about that with this one, but I was wrong because a lot of the, better jokes are not in the trailers because they cannot show those in the trailers. You have that great OJ joke in the trailer, the great, bank robbery thing in the trailer. It does go beyond that, the bank robbery thing, so it's great. Some other jokes in this movie that aren't in the trailer are hilarious. Something like the coffee cups, great. Something, love making scenes in particular was hilarious. I really did love that. But man, there had to have been at least a joke every 30 seconds. I swear to God, it might have been, short of that, maybe like every 20 seconds. There was just a joke after joke after joke. And you would probably ask, are they all that funny? Did everyone make you laugh? Not everyone, it's fine. If there's that many jokes, not every single one of them had to make me laugh. I think it was like 80% of them. And I was like, my throat is starting to hurt because I was laughing so much. But man, there were a lot of jokes in this movie. I really have to give props to the writers here. I think there was a couple of them, but I don't know how you can just continue to think of jokes to put like hundreds of them in your movie. And I think it would be harder if they have to make a sequel. I personally want a sequel, but I think it's going to be hard to make a sequel because you can't do the same jokes as the original Naked Gun. You can't do the same jokes that you put in here. You got to really think out of the box with some of these, and some of these they really did think out of the box, so I have hope for them. But man, it does take some skill to think of all these different jokes to put in this movie, so big props to them. For the cast here, as I said, Liam Neeson stole the show. I mean, as the main character, he's terrific, does deadpan comedy to an excellent extent. You also have Pamela Anderson. I really liked her in the supporting role. I think she's great with Liam Neeson. And supposedly in real life, they're dating now, which is pretty cool. And then Paul Walter Hauser has a small part in this movie. Thought he was also pretty good. He has a really funny fight scene in the end of the movie that I wasn't prepared for, but it is hilarious. And this movie comes in at runtime of only an hour and 25 minutes. I mean, that might be the shortest movie that I'll watch this year. Under an hour 30, that usually never happens these days, but it's kind of like the original Naked Gun movies, very short, you know, it's paced very fast so they can get all these jokes at you in a, you know, really fast way. And I don't have a problem with it. I think that these movies perform excellently in, you know, hour and a half, 90-minute runtime. This one's 85 minutes. I feel like everyone's going to like that because if it was 2 hours and they continue to be jokes every 30 seconds, you get a little exhausted, but I think this runtime is perfect for this kind of movie. So overall, I had a blast with the new Naked Gun movie, and I think it will be a big crowd pleaser because my audience was really eating it up. I wouldn't mind if they kept making these with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson at the center because they were dynamite together. This is just a hilarious movie. I really recommend it to everyone because, you know, you don't have to laugh at every joke, but I think there's jokes in here that will make everyone laugh. I thought it was just a hoot of a good time. The Naked Gun gets a strong 7.5 out of 10. Hope you all enjoyed this review. If you did, make sure to leave a like on this video as it helps it a lot. Subscribe to the channel, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.